Well, hopefully the Spanish audience will draw many parallels between their own, history and the history of our own Civil War in America. And that, I think the Spanish, even if they don't know Lincoln, and Lincoln I know is not a household word here in España, they'll be able to see what great leadership means. They'll be able to see the kind of sacrifice and compromise that a leader must make to to achieve an everlasting justice, like abolishing slavery. So I think there are so many similarities and parallels between Spanish history and American history. I'm hoping that our film will be embraced here.
It's only, one generation away that your country experienced a civil war as well, and it was a terrible one, and the result was not necessarily a good one for the country, if it's permissible to say that. So I don't know whether that will affect people in any kind of comparative sense when they're experiencing the film, but I imagine in this culture it's still a discussion that happens a good deal about that part of your history. Is it the Franco years? Is that very much part of?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can only really answer that by telling you what I don't do, which is what I don't do is to try and to dismember the life into its various component parts, in the hope that by working on these individual aspects of that character, I can then sort of bolt them all together at a given moment in time, and hope that it's going to function as a cohesive human being. So I tend to, those aspects of the physical, and I would include vocal is slightly different because it's a reflective very much of a sort of spiritual interior life of the voice. But those aspects of any piece of work that I'm involved in that do require some kind of technical work as well, but I always try and allow that work to take its own course in an unconscious way, because the problem is that if it becomes a conscious pursuit of this or that way of moving, this or that way of speaking, you then very often end up with a self-conscious result. And you fail to find the interior life that produces the voice, the interior life that produces the way of moving. So what I would hope to do is to try and get a sense of the life, an experience of that life, from which those other things might reveal themselves. We drank a pint of Guinness.
Yeah, a really good pint of Guinness at a pub, at a really good pub in Richmond, Virginia.
That was my first drink for a year.
Exactly. Will I make a film in Spain? Yes, I hope so. I don't have any plans in the near future, because my plans for my next film have been delayed, but I've had wonderful times. I've made 3 films here in Spain over the span of all my movies, and I love working here so much, and I know I'll be back. No, I can't. I really can't. I can say gracias. I can say what can I say?
It's no good looking at me.
I'm looking at you and thinking, save me, Daniel, save me. I don't speak Spanish well enough.
Yeah, both, in every sense, memorable experiences, and connected to, in the sense that in both cases, both Tommy Lee and Sally were entirely real to me when we were working. There was very little discussion. There was very little. There was no rehearsal whatsoever. But what there was, from my point of view, was a meeting. In each case, for each particular scene, a meeting with a thoroughly realized human being that was real to me, and that's all you can ever hope for. I only had one day's work with Tommy Lee, but it's a day that I shall always cherish. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm proud of the movie because I think we accomplished our mission, which was to bring Abraham Lincoln off the mountain of Mount Rushmore, bring him down from his marble throne at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and take him off the $5 bill and the penny, and bring him, for the first time, maybe forever, but certainly in 72 years since the last movie about Lincoln was made, to people all around the world who really could understand why this was such a great man who did such important work.
No puedo acabar esta guerra hasta que logremos curarnos de la esclavitud. Esta enmienda es la cura.
Hacen falta 2 síes.
Lárguense y consíganlos.
¿Pero cómo?
Soy el presidente de los Estados Unidos, investido de un poder inmenso. Van a procurarme esos votos.
Contemporice o lo arriesga todo. La guerra habrá acabado dentro de un mes. Tenemos garantizada la derrota en la votación.
¡Péguenme un tiro! ¡Yo voto sí! ¡Deje la Constitución en paz!
Va a ser votada.
¡Usted insulta a Dios!